Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Quadash. So as you can see here, it says here on the Daily Mail, fury over plan to release 750 million genetically engineered mosquitoes in Florida Keys to kill insects carrying Zika and yellow fever, as locals brand it a Jurassic Park experiment that could create superbugs. All right. So Esau is going to release genetically modified creatures. All right, mosquitoes. And we've been saying that over the years. The brother's been saying that Esau creates all kind of genetically modified animals and splices genes of animals, but for the purpose of evil, man. All right. So now Esau is saying he's doing it so they can kill the insects carrying the Zika and the yellow fever, as locals brand it a Jurassic Park experiment that could create superbugs. Well, the scripture says never trust thine enemy, man. All right, and I want to get that because he could be he is releasing them for a negative reason, maybe to spread more diseases, to cause more chaos and to start a new pandemic. This is Esau we're talking about, man. He ain't releasing those 750 genetically modified mosquitoes to for the good of man. I mean, first of all, you made them genetically modified animals, man. What the Most High created is perfect, but this man's the devil, so he's doing it for the purpose of wickedness, man. So I'm gonna read this here. All right. It says some residents of the Florida Keys are furious over plans to release more than 750 million genetically modified mosquitoes in the region to combat disease. The Florida Keys Mosquito Control District gave final approval on Tuesday to the plan, which will be rolled out in 2021 and 2022. The transgenic insects, that don't even sound right, man. The transgenic insects classified as OX5034 have been modified to help cull the population of Aedes aegypti, a mosquito known to carry Zika, malaria, dengue, yellow fever, and other illnesses. However, residents and local wildlife groups worry the Jurassic Park experiment could just introduce a new breed of mosquito. State officials have attempted to calm their fears, stating the transgenic bug will provide a safer, cheaper alternative to spraying the Aedes aegypti and insecticides. So a genetically modified bug is gonna be better than spraying insecticides and the things that you use to kill bugs and stuff. He's saying a genetically modified bug is the answer to that. And look, we've been telling you over the years that Esau has created these things in labs, man. And in the last days, the Lord's gonna have these things unleashed on the planet, man. Like I believe it's called Jekyll Island, where they do that Frankenstein stuff with animals and with people. So that's what that is. This is just a Frankenstein experiment of Esau, and these bugs are going to be used to spread more diseases, to kill people, these genetically modified mosquitoes, Because this man, Esau, plays God, all right, on the earth. Okay, he's got all this power. The Lord's given him the power. He plays God, man, on the planet, Keeping humans hooked to machines, keeping you alive and whatever, man. He's the devil. So anything he creates is for the use or the purposes of the sword, all right? It ain't for the good of man. It's for the destruction purposes. So I'm gonna continue reading it here, all right? It says the mosquitoes are male, altered so that any female offspring they produce die in the larval stage. Well, being they are big enough to bite and spread disease. Only female mosquitoes bite for blood, which they need to mature their eggs. Male offsprings would pass along the defective gene. Okay, it says dengue fever results in 390 million infections per year, according to the World Health Organization, with a more than 30-fold increase in reported cases that last 50 years. The disease causes high fever, severe headaches, and joint pain, and can result in lethal complications. It also kills up to 25,000 people every year. Well, this is what look, this is what these people are. This is the end of the world. These people are holding up signs. Look what it says. No consent to release of genetically modified mosquitoes. But guess what? Esau's going to release them anyway, man. All right? He's going to release them anyway, man. Okay? A woman standing outside the Florida Mosquito Control District office to protesting the use of transgenic mosquitoes. Critics say the altered insects could actually create generations of hardier hybrid mosquitoes that are more resistant to pesticides. All right? So meaning they're going to get... Basically, it's what Esau releases over the years could get worse pretty much, man. Killer mosquitoes, man. All right? And how do you know Esau ain't created these things with diseases in them already, man? And they're going to just go around biting people. This is going to be a plague. This just reminds me of like the plagues of Egypt, man. The Lord's just going to release and that's part of plagues, man. He's going to release these 750 million killer mosquitoes on Egypt, aka America, man, Babylon. All right? This is the times we're in, man. And look at the name of it, the transgenic mosquitoes. That sounds pretty familiar, man. You know, transgenders, trannies, the transgenic mosquitoes. This man's anti-life, and he even said in there, it said that the female ones die, you know. So it's like he even said that, man. So this man's anti-life, man. He's not about life, man. All right, and you're gonna find that out, man. So it says the transgenic mosquitoes, all male, have been designed to sire female offspring that would die as larvae long before they could bite and spread Zika, dengue, yellow fever, and other pathogens. Only female mosquitoes bite for blood, which they need to mature their eggs. You read that part, right? So, I mean, that's the point, man. You know, like pretty much Esau, this is it here. It says it here. 750 million genetically engineered mosquitoes in Florida Keys to kill insects. Basically, he's saying it in a form that they're going to be released to kill, in these insects that are spreading diseases. But then really, when Esau speaks, he speaks with a forked tongue, man. So you know that they're being released for the purposes of destroying people, man, spreading more diseases, killing people, man. All right, and which is a plague, all right? So I'm going to read this here. This is I'll get it here. This is 2 Corinthians, all right? 2 Corinthians 2:11. 2 Corinthians 2:11. All right, it says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage over us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." All right, and who's Satan? All right, Satan means the adversary, man. All right, Satan's the devil, the adversary, which is a man on earth, which is Esau, Edom. All right, beginning with the elites. So it says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices," man. So we're not ignorant to what's happening in these last days, man. We know what's going on according to the Bible, so we're not ignorant to it, man. Like Esau talking about he's releasing these insects to basically kill other insects that are spreading diseases is bullshit, man. All right, but an ignorant person would believe that. But a man that believes in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, we've got the eyes to see through the lies, man. So we know that these are killer mosquitoes and mosquitoes spreading diseases themselves, man, genetically modified, man, by Esau. All right, and think about it, man. The genetically modified food that Esau pumps into our society, all right, that's no good for our bodies, man. So what the hell is a genetically modified mosquito? What benefit is a genetically modified mosquito gonna do for you, man? So that's Satan, man. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." So we ain't ignorant of the devices of these devils, man. We know that this is the last days, and they're spreading more chaos, more destruction, more death, and there's gonna be more they're gonna release genetically modified creatures on the earth. There's gonna be total chaos on the planet, man. All right, I'm gonna read this here. All right, because this is Esau we're talking about. This is the devil, and in the last days, we're gonna find out just how much of the devil this man really is, man, when he comes down with this great wrath. Okay, it says Psalms 55:21. It says, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." All right. So that's the main point there. It says, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." Meaning what? Meaning pretty much Esau, everything he's about is war, man. All right, he ain't doing nothing for the benefit of man to do good. He ain't doing nothing to do good. He's doing it in the purposes of destruction, man. That's really in his heart, and your heart is your mind. All right, and your heart is your mind, man. All right. So you people that still believe, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans that still believe in this system, believe in this society, man, you're gonna get a rude awakening, man. So it says it here, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Yeah, what was it saying in the article? The genetically modified mosquitoes, they're gonna be released for the purposes of killing other insects that spread disease, which is all bullshit, man. All right. But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. All right. And that's the main thing Esau's all about, man. Inside his brain, he speaks of peace, but inwardly he's about war, man. And he'll show you that in the end too. All right. And there's many accounts of that, man. Just look at the history of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. Many peace treaties, you know, that were passed with Esau, with the various tribes. And what did Esau do? He stabbed Jake in the back, so to speak. And that's what they're all about, man. So these genetically modified mosquitoes, they ain't for the benefit of the planet, man. It's for destruction, all right? All right? And that's what we're in. We're in a time of destruction. You're going to see just how much, this man's the wicked, man. You're going to find that out, man. And it's more and more, more and more these things are coming out, man. But it's gonna get like physical soon, man. All right? They're going to come down with that great wrath, man. Right? Remember it says in Ecclesiasticus, man, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. Right? So that wickedness is deep rooted in Esau, and that begins with their elites. All right? And it says in Micah also, that they work wickedness upon their bed. All right? They practice these things. So they've been creating these genetically modified beasts for years, man. Mosquitoes, genetically modified lions, bears, all kind of like wacky creatures, man. Frankenstein creatures that, they're going to release. All right? Yeah, man, so with that, man, I'm just going to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Shalom.